Well, good evening, America, and welcome to It's Happening Out. This is the world's most popular live gay television show. And you know what that means? It's 8 p.m. It's Wednesday, September 2nd, 2020. I'm your host and moderator, Al Ferguson, and we welcome you, LGBTQ America and world. We're going to have so much fun tonight and a really entertaining show. So we thank you for joining us, and it's time to get started with It's Happening Out. We would like to start off tonight's show by welcoming a special guest host tonight's episode, and that is Asian pop star. I love saying that phrase, Asian pop star. It's so much fun to say. Living in Southern California in Los Angeles, and a host on our show, Gay Town Hall, and that's Randy Boo. Welcome, Randy.
Hi guys, how are you guys doing today?
And we perfect for Randy to be on tonight because one of our big topics that we're going to talk about is the VMAs and a lot about music.
Right.
And besides the very exciting and handsome and beautiful Randy, then we have the others. And that's Chef Josie.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Good evening, Chef Josie. You had a good week running for mayor. And
Yes.
Aaron Phoenix, we've solved some of the technical issues for Aaron.
Yeah, we had testicle difficulties, nothing new.
Testicle difficulties. And speaking of ongoing testicle difficulties, Power Infiniti. And we're excited you're with us. Yes. Anything going on in politics? No? Okay, so let's move on to...
He's still out of jail, right?
Yes.
You're still out of jail.
You're still out of
Power.
jail, right?
Good job.
Damn it, another week
We're
goes
rooting
by.
for you,
Oh, I'm
Power.
going to get him. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. And, of course, Misty Eyes. And good evening, Misty. All right. Well, we're going to have a lot of fun. So good evening again, America. You're watching the world's most popular live gay TV show. So many of the stories and the big topics are next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out.
The VMA goes to Lady Gaga!
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
All over the United States, there are homeless youth living on the streets. Up to 40%.
Our new game, Saved by the Bell. It's all happening out tonight. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Special guest host, Misty Eyes. With your host, reality TV star, Chef Josie. Trans activist, Aaron Phoenix. DJ Diva Power Infiniti. And our moderator, Al Ferguson. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, we are so excited to have you with us tonight. We're live. This is an unedited talk show. And unedited means that I'm going to do everything possible to poke Power Infiniti to say something totally offensive and get him totally banned on Facebook. We'll explain to you probably at some point in the show, as do I. Exactly. So remember, as I do that, anything can happen, and I'm hoping it will. This is, as I said, the world's most popular live gay television show. 160,000 of you last week watched in YouTube alone. We thank you very much. And we remind you, if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and click the bell for updates. And on Facebook, like and share us. Share the video. And in fact, start a watch party. It's really easy. Here's how to do it. Watch this.
When viewing our live show in your app, please click share. After clicking share, your screen should change and you can then click watch party. On the next screen, you can write text to your viewing audience and then click start watch party. You've done it. Enjoy your party.
Well, it's that simple. So let's jump right in. Let's begin by having some fun tonight. We're sitting in COVID, still in crisis, and there's this little thing called an election going on. So let's try to have some fun. Let's begin with the meme of the week. We always start our show this way. We all like it. All of the hosts like it because it reminds us about some fun things that are going on. And this week's meme of the week is called gays when they do sports. Now, I haven't seen this, and it's probably going to be interesting.
It's going to be marvelous.
Watch this.
Is that the music he was actually using? Brown chicken, brown cow.
You only come to two conclusions. Either gays make it better, or it's the reason why we can't have anything nice. What did y'all think of the meme?
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Right.
I don't know what was so gay about that, quite frankly. I mean, it just looked like a boy having a good time. I mean, I don't know about you guys.
Rhythm, fitness, all the things associated with being gay.
Honey, I was feeling herself.
Me hot a little bit.
Wait, Randy, I've seen some of your half-nude pictures. Tell me more.
I just wish I'm the pole that he's handling.
Oh.
He could wrap himself around me and toss himself over me, on top of me, whatnot. Ooh, he could do everything.
Oh, you California boys, you're just so racy.
Maybe you should move out there, Al.
Yeah.
I want to know if he ever got around to doing any gymnastics.
Who? The boy that we just saw in the meme?
Yeah, I want to know if he ever
Who
got
cares
around.
about the sport? I mean, who cares about
feeling
that?
it, honey.
Speaking of sports and games, let's move on to a game that we play here at It's Happening Out. It's a yes or no game. And it's
Water
very
sports.
Oh,
Lord.
And gays are great at this game. Gays are great.
Are your eyelashes flapping in the wind, sir, as I watch that?
I got the clip.
Well, America, as you know, this month, it's September. This is our first show in September. We're getting ready in 3 weeks to celebrate our 2-year anniversary at It's Happening Out. And so as you know, we like to play I'd Swallow That, especially me, because it allows me to start the show with shots, which is the only way that I can get through this damn thing. These people.
You and me both, Al.
alcohol.
Right. It's like vinegar at the back of my tongue. Our hosts are going to be
What if I don't
asked.
drink?
Well, then.
You got some water, bitch.
I was going to say this. Well,
Okay.
Power's already told you. Water sports. Our
get hit
hosts
when you
will
drink.
be asked 4 questions.
I'm so
If they
jelly,
agree,
Callie.
wait, and actually, Randy, it doesn't matter because last week production forgot to put the shots on the table and we did fake shots last week. So our high production quality here is just, it's just great. So you can just do fake shots. All right.
They didn't have shots in the budget.
Right. Exactly. We didn't have the budget for water last week. So if they agree, they're going to take the shot. Now we have vodka shots tonight because we all demanded. We're having
Finland.
vodka shots, and if they disagree, they don't take the shot. So everybody ready? Everybody knows. Power and I played this for 2 damn years. We've had these games. Power used to fight. When I don't know if y'all have heard this. When we first played the game, Power would go first. That thing that he does with his head twirling on his shoulders, you know, that move that he does. I don't need to answer that. I'm not playing the game that way. He's just finally surrendered and going, oh, what the fuck. All right, so let's play I'd Swallow That. All right, so question 1. I'd swallow that. When COVID-19 ends, my slut flag will be flying high. Oh, I love the picture. Wait, that picture was too fast. Come on, slow it down as I'm taking my shot.
Wow.
Slowly. Wait, it's still too fast.
You should
All
play
right.
the picture during the
So
question.
somebody tell me, did everybody take a shot? I wasn't watching. I was watching the picture.
No.
I didn't think it.
You're easily distracted, Al. I didn't take the shot. I mean,
I didn't.
I
neither.
don't think that when COVID ends, COVID will really be ending. So and anyways, besides I'm married, so.
Yeah, way to bring me down.
Yeah.
Way to bring me down.
Yeah.
All right.
Ta-da,
I
married.
figured I was going to fly my flag regardless. So
Wait, all right.
Whatever.
So, wait, let me get this right. Power's out. Josie's out. Misty's out. Aaron, what did you
Why not?
do?
if I was going to fly the flag anyway, pandemic or no pandemic, I mean, I guess I'll claim I was waiting for it
Okay.
to pass. But
All right.
You know, well, the things I do for my husband can still qualify as slutty. So,
And you do that pre-COVID ending.
Okay. And now that we've dispensed with all of the old, let's focus on the new. Randy, tell us about why you took that shot.
Oh, because it's almost over to me. COVID is already done. It's
he's
might as well
already a
just
slut.
so be careful. Get power. That was what I was trying to get to, but
Yeah.
you said it for me.
Yeah. Just get to the point.
All right. I got right to the
They're being
point.
a
All
slut
right.
now is what they.
All right. Let's move on. Second question. I'd swallow that. This is going to be an interesting one. I've got caught nude in public. Wait, I gotta taste a shot. Now, Aaron is not taking the shot. You've never got caught nude in
No.
public.
I've never got caught. I mean, to be caught, don't you have to not want to be caught?
No, I didn't want to be caught. Josie, you got caught?
Oh, yeah,
Well,
a
that's
couple
my point.
times.
Well, a couple times. Where? Details?
When I was much younger, much younger, wilder and freer, maybe hanging out with someone in the middle of Lincoln Road Mall on South Beach. I don't know.
You were naked at Lincoln Road?
In the rain. I don't know. I don't really remember.
Allegedly.
Hypothetically.
All right. And Misty, did you take the shot?
Oh, I've been caught naked in public so many times. But I haven't gotten a ticket. I'm not a sex offender, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you Are you registered sex offender?
We're not a registered sex offender, but I got caught. I got a ticket.
No, but if
for
you get a
being naked in
ticket for
public.
being
Wait. Shh. You got
But
a
I was only
ticket?
14. Yeah, I was 14 years old. I was just playing around with me and my friends and my cousin, and I was trying to be cool. Took off my
Incest is
clothes, jumped in the
bad.
pool, and Karen was on the phone saying, "There's a little Asian boy in the pool naked." Called the cops.
Oh
The
my
cops
God.
came and I got a ticket.
Did you have to
Wow.
pay a fine?
No, his parents had to pay
yeah,
because he was 14.
Exactly.
What kind of job does he have?
Yeah. So I ended up doing the community service, which I did for like 42
Naked.
hours at the animal shelter.
I'm so glad they didn't ruin your life.
But that'd be more times.
They
Wow.
threatened to ruin my
Yeah, that's
life.
story.
They threatened what?
To ruin my life. He made me cry. He's like, I can give you a ticket and you'll be on the sex offender list for public indecency. Like I thought I was going to jail and I thought I was never going to be able
Wow.
to
Were you
be
having
featured.
sex or you were naked?
I was naked in public.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And Power, have you ever been caught naked?
Yes, but see, unlike Randy and Misty, I was smart enough to be caught naked at the bathhouse. So,
Well,
Yeah, if you're getting
Alright.
caught on
too.
purpose, is it really getting caught?
All right.
Like, that's,
well, when you're getting caught by some of your sisters, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
oh.
I knew,
I ain't trying
by the way.
I ain't trying to have Kitty look at my trades. You know what I'm saying?
Here's a rare admission on my part. In fact, when I heard that we were asking this question, I reached out to a friend of mine who is watching the show right now. When I was in my 20s in Clearwater, not far from Aaron, I was at Clearwater Beach, staying at the Hilton, and was on the beach. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. We were drunk as hell, and I was having sex on the beach. And the next thing I know, there's a light in my eyes, completely in full sex on the beach. And the police officer said,
Oh,
excuse
wow.
me, what are y'all doing?
What exactly are you
And then said, please stand up. I said, no, sir. I cannot stand up.
That's not where it goes.
That's exactly what happened. The police officer was so cool. Do you live here? No. We're staying right there. Why are you not in a room? And I thought my entire life flashed before my entire eyes, my entire life.
You're like, because it's sexier on a beach.
And it was cool.
Right.
There you go.
Hey.
The story of white privilege. Police officer, why are you not in the room, sir?
Right.
You know, if it was you, Power, you would have been shot.
No, you would have turned and ran, and he would have shot.
No, he wouldn't have
7
seen her.
times or something. Yeah. We laugh about it like it's not true, but it is true. Let's move on to question number 3. I'd swallow that. I love finding hot hookups when I'm at the club or party. This was either pre-COVID, maybe now.
In a
or
former
later.
life, yes.
I like to go to the club
Love
to
hooking up.
meet people. Basically, that's the gist.
If I'm not working, that was the only reason I go to the club. As a matter of
Hello?
fact, that picture that y'all put up there,
Who doesn't?
the black child looking up, smiling.
In a group of 12. In a group of 12, right? I've heard stories about you, by the way. I have heard stories. Wait, bring up that picture again. Wait, let's look at that. Now, there's Power right there in the middle. And right there, to my view of the right, kissing butterfly kisses, the black boy kissing the white guy with butterfly kisses. I think that's Sean Palacios there.
Not far. Speaking of seeing sisters at the club.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
All right. And Josie, you took the shot?
Oh yes, you know, I mean, hell, that was my entire 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm married again, you know, so that's not my only reason for going out. And but you know, I spent an entire decade that being the main priority and agenda for the evening.
And Misty, was that you took the shot?
Yes. In the 90s and the 2000s, that was the only reason to go to the club unless you were working.
Yeah.
And then after that, the internet helped you.
And Randy, for you, that's why you go to the club?
We've already established that for Randy.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to. Hold on, I'm off camera. It's fun to meet
it's
guys.
the other direction. Ever done television before?
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having difficulties with my headphones.
And I want to finish on this question with Aaron, of course, because you immediately started shaking your head no.
No. I had a hard and fast rule against taking people home from the club or the bar. That is the worst possible place. I don't want to deal with sloppy and drunk, and I definitely don't want to deal with whatever you might be when we wake up in the morning.
Oh.
So I want to screen somebody first. I would much rather meet you on an app and have all my questions answered, and maybe all your questions answered before we go back from the club. Mm-mm.
Well, see, there you go. That's half your problem right there. That whole wake up in the morning thing. Bitch, you shouldn't be waking up when you're
Yeah.
He never heard of $3.
Bye.
$3 Long Island iced teas.
All right.
We're not cuddling.
Let's no cuddling.
Right.
I had such an interesting recent conversation.
Problem.
I had such an interesting recent conversation with Josie about cuddling and out. But I can't tell you in this conversation.
No.
All right, let's move on to question number 4. I'd swallow that. And it's Labor Day weekend coming up. So, right, we're going to have lots of barbecues. So I'd swallow that. I love hot, thick, juicy wieners in a nice toasty bun.
I feel like this is a trap.
And
I want your big wiener in my tiny bun.
My bun is the toastiest.
It's burnt.
I just set up some of my vodka. Oh my God.
That's like how I like my French onion soup. Burnt.
I hope that's a toast where you have to scrape the bread.
Girl,
we're all pink on the inside, Power.
The crusting said toasty, not burnt. Now she's trying to get racist.
We're all pink on the inside, so it's okay.
This really turned really slutty really quickly. And we must.
We're
drunk.
the race card.
I know. And always
These
pulling the
questions
race.
was good this week. These questions was good.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So that's our game. I'd swallow that, and we play it every week. And so stay with us and play along with us as we do. All right. Let's move into one of our topics that we want to have conversation about, and of course, Randy will be interesting. Power's experience. Well, really, everyone's experience here in this room. We all know the gay community loves celebrities, gossip, entertainment. Next, we focus on our entertainment segment that we call Celebrity Hot Topic. The VMAs were on Sunday, and this past weekend. Does the gay community, the question on the VMAs, does the gay community care anything about the Moon Man and 1980 in the launch of the VMAs? Do we care anything about the VMAs today? Before we have this conversation, watch this.
And the VMA goes to Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Well, we ask, in our world, do music videos get any attention? Were there any stand-up moments for you or that mattered to the LGBT community? What did y'all think? VMAs on Sunday.
What do we think of this
I think
week's
the VMAs
VMAs?
is
I thought
good
they were
for us.
Go ahead, Robert.
Go ahead, Randy.
I think the VMAs is good for us, the LGBT community, because if you look at every production, behind every scene you watch on TV, there's a lot of LGBTQ that's working for that celebrity. So and a lot of us look up to the celebrities because they also, back us up. They tell the world, hey, LGBTQ queen, we're here and we're not going away. And I love that about certain celebrities that, supports us.
This week,
So for
I
me,
loved the VMAs.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I don't mind going last.
No, Aaron, you're remote, so let you go in.
All right. Well, for me, the highlights were, and I'll admit, I went back and watched the highlights. I didn't sit through the whole thing, but I went back and watched. I had to see Missy Elliott finally getting her dues because she's like the queen, the original queen of music videos and music videos that tell a story. And, especially Randy mentioned, LGBTQ backup dancers and production members. And she has had to have had an army by now of gay people in her videos. It was really cool to finally see her get hers.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lizzo's performance was every bit worth watching. Lady Gaga, of course, she did her thing. She did her, the costumes and all that. I think there were definitely highlight reels that were worth watching. I don't know if I could sit through the whole entire thing, but I don't know if that's a gay community thing or if that's just me having ADHD. So,
Any other thoughts?
I think there's a perfect opportunity to interject the fact that It's Happening Out Network does not necessarily endorse or support the opinions of all the hosts.
Not a big fan.
Are you part of production now?
Clearly, Aaron is talking from his timeline and experience when he said that Missy Elliott was the whatever. Some of us would say, and I'm not a Madonna Rama fan, but some of us would say Madonna was, the original,
Fair enough.
MTV girl, she goes way back, but it's whatever. As far as VMAs is concerned, I personally, even as a DJ, I really can't be bothered. That also might not be a gay community thing. That is me, and I'm very, very happy to walk a different path and walk to my own drumbeat. Um, Randy mentioned that we look up to a lot of the artists, and that's good for you if you do. But for me and for others, I think I'm speaking for others as well. I look up to the artists that really have a positive impact in my world, the world around them, and our community. I don't just look up to an artist just because they make a fucking song. I don't just look up to an artist because they are dripping in effervescence. What have you done to impact the lives and the people around you? That's what I look up to. And if you are somebody like Lady Gaga, for example, the array of artists that were on the show really do not impress me. Lady Gaga will impress me because she actually does something with her time, her talent, and her platform to better the lives of others, and especially those that are marginalized. So that is why she is somebody that I would look up to.
It's interesting, Power, on that observation, because I know you didn't watch the VMAs, did you?
You damn right. I sure as hell did.
Right, exactly. MTV, I thought, did something. They I won't say they snuck it in, but they stuck it in for our understanding of this conversation. They introduced Lady Gaga of saying that basically she was one of the most proactive LGBTQ community representatives in the world in supporting the LGBTQ community. And that brought me to a stop in listening to the VMAs, because not only did MTV make that statement, of course MTV is uber pro-positive, the LGBT community, but they take note that even in that environment, this is an icon in terms of standing up for human rights for our community. Exactly the point that you just made. Any final thoughts about what we watched?
Did you have something to say, Joe?
Well, I mean, I'll say this, if it weren't for music videos, there probably wouldn't be YouTube. And I know that I love, while I'm working, to put the videos on to some of my favorite songs. And what I've noticed about videos these days is that they have real productions. They're like almost mini-series and mini productions, mini movies even. And like what Randy was saying, it's not just the fact that we are employing so much of the LGBT, but what we're seeing is the influence of the LGBT community. Right. And that is what's really cool about it. So, I love the VMAs. I come from that era of our lives.
Me too.
That's when I grew up, when it was just the man on the moon. And now, look at what it's grown into. So hats off to Lady Gaga. You were born this way, and you allow the space for all of us to, shine sing that tune as well.
Let's move on to some other topics that we want to talk about tonight. We have, first, we want to recognize our sponsorship of Best Western I-95, one of our principal sponsors here at It's Happening Out. When you're ready to come into South Florida, we want to make sure that you stay very close to the Wilton Drive here in Wilton Manors, and we thank them for all of their support, and our hosts and guests stay there. Happening Out Television Network is broadcasting, by the way, on our brand new set in partnership with the Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church in Fort Lauderdale, Wilton Manors, Florida. We joke we are broadcasting from the gayest place on planet Earth. And our support of the Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday celebration service is the largest LGBTQ religious broadcast in the world, every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. live Eastern. We encourage you to tune in. It's really quite outstanding. Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
Hi, I'm Edwin. I'm a pianist, piano teacher, and I also work at South Florida Gay News in the advertising department, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
Well, in addition to Sunshine Cathedral, our set here is courtesy of Concepto Modern Living, right here in Fort Lauderdale. Let's move on to some other things that we want to focus on tonight. Our production team pays attention to many things that are interesting and going on in the World Wide Web. And of course, we call this next segment Best Thing of the Week. Literally, all of us can't follow everything in terms of what's going on, and they help us focus on what they think is one of the best things of the week. And again, I haven't seen this, but we're getting ready to show it to all of our hosts and to you, America. It is called Grindr Literally. Watch this.
Friday's poppers. Share them with your friends. Please do not share anything with anyone.
That was great.
Oh, stop.
Grindr was only like that.
It is like that.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I was thinking, oh, the two boys are kind of squarish, and I was thinking that is probably what many of Power's engagements on his phone.
Well, I didn't get it. That's probably not for Virgil.
Don't worry, I didn't get a few of those, references either. I was asking Al through.
I know. Josie was asking me all the way through the video. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Oh my gosh, I knew all of them.
Yeah, you've done all of them, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Bread is bareback.
Just for our audience, I was totally kidding. Of course, I knew all of them and more.
Yeah, bread. You knew bread. Okay.
Of course.
Of course.
She gets bread every day. She's married.
All right.
Getting money, right? That's what that means.
Well,
money.
yeah. All right. Let's move on to our next segment, which is called What's on Your Mind. Each of our hosts is going to tell us about the last week of what's been sitting on their mind, but they can only do it in 30 seconds. I'm going to kind of raise my hand or flag to them to say you're there. So they're going to tell us what's important to them this week. Power, let's start with you. What's on your mind this week?
Okay, well, quickly, I'm going to share my 30 seconds with my co-host. There are three ways of voting: vote by mail, early voting, and voting on election day. I'd like to go around and ask all my co-hosts how they plan on voting.
Mail.
In person.
I'm not eligible to vote.
It was that 14-year-old thing that he talked about at the top of the show. I'm going to vote by mail, only because my voting precinct is 4 hours away. So I'm going to vote, but I'm voting by mail.
I will probably vote in person in a hazmat suit, but I don't necessarily trust them to count all of the mail-in votes. So I want to make sure that that thing gets into the box.
And speaking of Aaron, thanks, Power, for that. What's on your mind this week, Aaron?
What's on my mind this week is that I'll be honest. I think that we should start doing my new favorite thing again. I miss that, and I feel like, and the reason that I bring that up is because I feel like we have been so, and this is going to be crazy for me to say, but so focused on the heavy, sometimes negative, difficult things that are going on in our lives and in our world right now. And I think that we could all use a little bit more of a boost once in a while and some like comic relief.
Yeah.
So get you some comic relief in your life.
All right. That's a good suggestion. And Randy, what's on your mind this week?
What's on my mind is how everything went virtual. Because, I mean, it's sort of reality watching the VMAs. It seems like all the performance from the VMAs was all filmed from another place. So it's not like an actual concert like back in the days when it was still normal.
Absolutely true. And in every possible way. Look at this show. We always did it together, and now half of us in the show tonight are virtual. Chef Josie, what's on your mind this week?
Well, I'm going to tell you what's on my mind. Guys, you know, life is lifing, and life will life right all over you if you allow it to. I know that this week I have been tested, and I've been tried, and I have been, I mean, really. But I just jump on my surfboard, and I get on that wave, and I ride that wave of life, and I invite everybody who's watching this show to do it as well. Because life will keep on lifing.
Life will keep on lifing. That's interesting. And Misty, what's on your mind this week?
On my mind this week, I've been seeing, especially with the Chadwick tweeting, and I've been seeing a lot of people saying that they are not voting for Biden, period. They understand nobody likes Trump, but they're not going to vote for Biden because they don't like them or Kamala or whatever. My biggest fear is that these people that are not voting for Biden need to realize that not voting for Biden is voting for Trump.
All right. Well, let's move on out of what's on your mind, and let's move into our hot topic segment at It's Happening Out. Tonight, we ask, what can the LGBT community do in times of disaster? We saw the hurricane, we're in COVID-19, various different ways that we're experiencing disaster in our community. Before we have this conversation, watch this.
All over the United States, there are homeless youth living on the streets. Up to 40% are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and gender nonconforming. These are kids who have decided that it's safer to live on the streets of a city they don't know than in their own homes and communities. These are young people who often avoid going to homeless youth shelters for good reasons. Many of these shelters are run by churches, so you don't know what you're going to get. And they're highly gendered spaces. Boys here, girls there. Well, where do you go and who decides? So they avoid these shelters. So, question, what happens when the big storms come? We're seeing larger and more severe extreme weather events. These are young people who have not had experience with these storms and don't understand always how dangerous they are before and after. Where do they go? Do we know? Yes, there are some LGBTQ youth shelters around the country, but even on a sunny day, they don't have enough beds. So to me, this is very much a queer family values issue for us to consider this, to consult with youth on the street, and to look at best practices, because bigger storms are coming, and we need to adapt and adjust and figure out, what does queer disaster preparedness look like?
Well, for many, especially the transgendered members of our community, shelters can be a frightening and dangerous place. LGBTQ people may also not have accepting family to seek shelter with, whatever the emergency might be. Isolation in COVID-19 as another example. If you test positive or you have to go through the process of testing and sitting in isolation, what can our community do in these times of disaster? Are there special resources? And before we start the conversation, we want to remind you that in our comment string, we're providing a number of recommendations of places that you can turn to, especially in the trans community. What do y'all think about times of emergency? What should we be doing in the LGBTQ community?
I think we should definitely. Ladies
Everyone I want. Go ahead, remote guys.
Go ahead, Randy. Randy, you go first.
All right, so I think it's a beautiful thing because there's a lot of transgender out there that needs help, and here in LA we have a lot of programs. Once you go to the LGBTQ center, there's a lot of places that you can call and ask for help, but you just gotta look for help. You can't, like, if something horrible happens to you, you can't just sit back and let it happen to you. You gotta somehow find a way to stand up and look for help and call these numbers that are provided, because it really does help when it comes to tough times like these. And there's a lot of programs for the trans community, for LGBT communities, but you just got to look for the numbers to find them.
Yeah, well, and especially in big cities like LA, or even here in Florida, we've got kind of our hubs, if you will, Tampa and St. Pete, and Fort Lauderdale, of course, obviously Wilton Manors, but not everywhere is the gayest place on earth. So for those places that don't have those resources, the LGBT community forever has relied on mutual aid. This is where mutual aid comes in. It's not necessarily, we can't always go to charities that are run by churches, you know, or things like that. We're not always safe in those spaces. So our community has always relied, especially the trans community, has always relied on mutual aid and just kind of coming, you know, showing up for each other wherever it's needed, whether that's a couch to crash on or, you know, phone numbers to call, a shoulder to lean on. You know, there are definitely a lot of resources now compared to what there used to be, but it's difficult. And the main things that are filling that gap and saving lives of people who would otherwise fall through the cracks is these mutual aid relief funds and these mutual aid kind of grassroots organizations that come together to help people in need.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to add to that. That's exactly what it is, you know, in times of need and in times of emergency, us as a community. And that's why it's really so important that as a community, we stay connected and that we recognize our neighbors and that we really use our resources. But, you know, silence equals death, right? And kind of what Randy said, you know, if you're in trouble, if you need support, you know, we have to have the courage to step out and ask for it. We need to, you know, someone will know where to find it, but we have to be willing to take that action.
Any other thoughts? Well, as we move out of this topic, I want to point out that it's not only the searching for the resources, it's your commitment to follow through on the resources. An example, when unemployment hit so hard in April, we found in Florida that the previous governor of Florida set up unemployment claims in a way to automatically have a gigantic percentage of denial. The current governor from the same Republican Party did not know, the previous governor is now a U.S. Senator for Florida, did not know that the system was set up in such a biased way to automatically reject unemployment application. And so what we learned from that moment is if you were not committed to continue to file, continue to file, continue to follow up, and continue to follow up, you were going to get no assistance. And I imagine in everything that y'all are talking about, in whatever the resource is, or whatever the emergency is, it's the exact same thing. So probably the number one observation is your commitment to follow through, because they're just not going to do it for you, no matter how dire your need is.
It's very easy to get discouraged in times like this, especially when it seems like you keep running into walls. I've been trying to, as someone who's self-employed, a contractor, it has been a nightmare just to figure out how to file for assistance with this whole pandemic unemployment thing. So, and yeah, Al, that's a really, really great point and an important piece of advice is you've got to keep trying no matter how disheartening it gets.
Yes, and our entire LGBTQ community needs to be committed to supporting each other, making everyone aware of what you're experiencing. Talk about it in social media. Reach out to places like It's Happening Out and the Happening Out television network. Tell us what's happening so we can tell 1,000 times number of your voice to try to help support you. Let's continue as we move out of this. And as we have discussed this major headline about emergencies, it reminded us of the hurricane and of COVID, of course. Let's play a game called Saved by the Bell. Let's stay in the news and headlines, but let's play it in a little bit of a different way. In Saved by the Bell, this is kind of a lightning round of LGBTQ topics in the news this week and other headlines that we can talk about with a gay perspective. The trick or the twist is we're only going to do it in about 60 seconds on each topic. And then when we get to that, I'm going to ring the famous red and blue bell. And but the red and blue bell. So let's play and move on to Saved by the Bell. Headline number one, story number one. A new report, a new study shows that in sports, in pride-related games, sporting venues, it decreases anti-gay slurs among the players themselves by an incredible 40%.
A huge number. It really is. And, I think it really just comes down to, with awareness, comes a sense of respect. We've got to be able to, this is why it's important to still come out, because if you can put a human face to these, these kind of abstract ideas like queer, gay, or trans, then people can say, hey, then you're not just that statistic they hear on the news or just some idea that they see in media. We become people. You become, oh, my friend who's trans, my friend who's gay. And it'll change the way that people kind of interact and engage with us. And our language permeates our culture.
All right. We move on to headline topic number two in Saved by the Bell. In Britain, there is a new pride-centric train, a train that is staffed entirely with LGBT crew.
That's
and
fun.
It's not the kind of train you're used to, Power.
Exactly. Or Randy, right? For
Look
that
at
matter.
these pictures of this. It runs between London and Manchester. London
On the
and
tube.
I think the main headlines really is all about those masks, honey. Where can I get one of those?
Yeah.
I know, cheers.
Cool.
Those are everything.
By the way, to Power's point, these are rainbow flag masks that have added brown and black.
Yeah.
And transgender color.
And transgender, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd see.
Does the train have a dark room?
Yeah, we need that in San Francisco, and we need it in New York.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we need it in Florida, too, where we have abysmal public transportation.
I wonder if people avoid that.
Which Aaron would know about, exactly, and coming down
Right.
for It's Happening Out. All right, let's move on to story headline, topic three. The Federal Appeals Court again rules in favor of Gavin Grimm, the bathroom story in Virginia.
This is amazing that this is still going on, on. Congratulations to this young man for pushing forward and, seeing this through. But what needs to happen is, it did go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court sent it back down to the lower courts. It needs to go back up to the Supreme Court if they're going to keep on with this dance so that it can be settled once and for all. It's 2020, and to think that we are still having this fight over where people can go to the, and use the bathrooms is ridiculous.
Right. Kind of like
if your
dog has
Are we done?
All
right.
If your dog has to use the restroom, they poop everywhere. So it's kind of like with humans, why are we being segregated in different ones? Let's just be able to use the restroom.
All right. There we go. And we're in a minute. Headline topic number 4 this week, Saved by the Bell. A state park has been renamed to honor, first one ever, an LGBT person, and it happens to be the legendary trans activist Marsha P. Johnson.
Yay. Yay.
I love that this is also the transgender flag and the LGBTQ flag.
Yeah, well, this is going to be the first of many. That's the reality of it. As we continue to come into the awareness of the country and we become, accepted nationwide against the resistance, we have to start seeing this. This is going to be the trend. There are a lot of leaders in the LGBTQ community who have helped, move our whole entire movement forward. So it's just time for us to be visible and come out of the closets and into the headlines like it's happening out.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. And that's our minute there. We continue in Saved by the Bell. Headline topic number 5. A Texas teacher is put on leave for promoting Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ equality.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
It makes sense that it's in Texas.
Yeah.
Literally.
It doesn't make sense that it's in Texas, but once again, we're living in 2020. And who would have thought, if you can go back in time to say 1960, 1970, and you told them that you were from the future, and they said, well, in 2020, I'm sure things will get better. And you look at them and say, Charlie, ain't nothing changed.
Not in Texas.
Yeah, and listen, this is really, it's against what we should be standing for as a society. When we're not promoting the reality that raising the awareness around the issues that are bringing people to the streets and protest, the kids need to grow up. If they're not learning it from us and the leaders in our community and in our schools, safe space, where are they learning what the reality of life is?
There we go. And sorry, we move on to headline topic 6 this week in Saved by the Bell. And this is a great story. NASA has warned us this week that an asteroid is heading for Earth. And it's going to hit, presumably, their estimation, on November 2nd, which is the day before the election. I love this.
I'm voting
image.
for the asteroid. Anybody else voting for the asteroid?
Right.
So we don't even need to vote.
What if the asteroids are alien coming down to Earth to vote for vote against Trump?
What if the target is the White House?
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for that observation, it's only about the size of a refrigerator, which sounds pretty big if it were to hit somebody like Trump in the head, for example. But in actuality, it would burn up and break up into little pieces before it ever got to us. So I know you'll have to understand the disappointment.
Aaron, I don't see you for weeks, and you're still a party pooper.
That's what I do.
All right.
But in
All
the
right.
bathroom, though.
right, exactly. All right, let's do Saved by the Bell headline number 7, topic 7. And this is my favorite of the week. Jerry Falwell, ever heard of him? And his wife had sexual arrangements with a hot young man, pool boy, and then must resign as president of Liberty University. And now Liberty University is in full-fledged investigation of all of the things that he's done for the last 12 years. And I may give you a few more seconds beyond 60. Go.
So first, Jerry Falwell Jr. had a sexual, or not, we don't know for sure if that one was sexual, a relationship with a personal trainer who they paid $1 million hush money. Then, months later, he's caught in Miami with his wife, who goes up to him and proposes a sexual arrangement. This lasted for years. The question is, did he and the boy play together? We don't know. However, we do know that $2.8 million was given to this little boy, this 20-year-old pool boy in Miami, so he could open an LGBTQ hotel. So why is his wife having sex with an LGBTQ boy? Question mark.
Interesting, right.
You know what burns me up about this story is even after they gave this bitch the chop, they gave him the chop with $10 million.
$10 million.
Yeah,
he got
severance.
his $10 million severance.
Yeah,
How
so
can I
I mean,
apply as a pool boy?
This just does not bode well for the validity of Christianity. You know, you're supposed to be a Christian institution, but yet you have this going on. You give the man $10 million. What's he getting $10 million for? Jesus wrote into into a town on a donkey. Why this bitch needs $10 million?
Well, and it comes down to this, right? We're not shaming the pool boy. We're not shaming Jerry Falwell or his wife for engaging in extramarital affairs. The reality of it is that when you're out there condemning our lifestyle, the hypocrisy of it is what is, I think, upsetting our community.
That's right.
And the damage that he can do with it. The damage that he can do with that hypocrisy.
Well, and that's the point. The moral majority, young LGBTQ America, you don't even probably remember the formation of the moral majority. But the moral majority's formation in the late 1980s and the early 1990s was at the height of AIDS. It was designed completely to not only shame, but completely destroy the LGBT community. Liberty University exists as an implementation weapon. They weaponized anti-LGBT at Liberty University. The hucksterism of this story is the reflection that we've gone full circle in the absolute hypocrisy of the entire movement. So, let's play another game, and let's do one that is not hypocritical because we completely embrace the sexual nature of this story we're getting ready to play, and it's called Shag, Marry, Chop. It is a game that asks our host who and why and what. Now, Randy, we're going to have to bring you up to speed because I know in Los Angeles, y'all are a little slower in terms of your sexual interest and appetites compared to here in South Florida, but we'll try to bring you right along with us. So we're going to put 3 people in front of you, and you're going to tell us who you would like to shag. Randy, do you know what the word shag means?
Of course, I learned it from Austin Powers.
Shag now or shag later?
I think that was an age joke.
Yeah,
I
know
that was cute. All right, and then,
of
course, Mary. Right. Okay. All right. So let's play. We're going to present 3 different people. Let's play it. All right. Tonight's subjects are all from performers from this weekend's MTV Video Music Awards. First is DaBaby. He was on the roof.
No, The Weeknd was on the roof.
Oh, that's right. The Weeknd was on the roof. All right. So DaBaby and Maluma second. Oh, I love his hair. And then The Weeknd. All right. So now we're going to play Shag, Marry, Chop. Randy, since you're new to It's Happening Out, we'll give you the privilege of de-virginizing all of them before all of the horrible things you're getting ready to say that would be done to them. So who would you shag?
I would shag DaBaby. That he looks like he'd be good at one night stand type of guy.
Okay.
All right.
Like one night stand.
Does that mean that you're looking for a one night stand?
No, I mean it's just that why not? But I mean he has the body and the face. He just looks so good. Look, eat my cereal. I have prick.
Okay. All right. And who would you marry?
It looks like a diaper.
I would marry Maluma.
Maluma. Oh,
because he looks
look
like
at that
he
picture.
looks like a gentleman. He looks like he knows how to treat a guy. Or,
You want to be treated well. Yeah. All right. So you want a one-night stand, and you want to be treated well while it's going on. Got it. And you would for your chop.
I would chop The Weeknd. No offense to his music, I love his music, but I would chop his hair off.
And why is that? Why would you chop him?
I would chop his hair off. Just kidding.
His hair is just too much for you, and then that way, so you can't have sex with him, and you wouldn't marry him because of his hair. So let's see. Do I have that right? All right, so let me make sure I've got this right, Randy. Since you're new to the game, and all the hosts are thinking the exact same thing at this moment, you want it as a one-night stand. You want to be treated really well, and because of hair, you're really superficial with both of those people that you get. Is it? Do I have all of this
good
right?
Notes here, okay.
Let's see. All right, Power, you tell us. You look the most uninterested. I think I caught you falling asleep there for a moment. Tell us who you would shag.
No, quite the opposite of Randy. I am actually going to shag Maluma because he looks like he would, make a great one-night stand.
He is so
Definitely.
cute. Ah.
He would definitely, make a great one-night stand, maybe a two-night stand, maybe 3 or 4. I would marry the baby for exactly the opposite reason that Randy would marry Maluma, because I would marry the baby because I think he looks like he might beat his wife. And as his wife, I'm down for all them beatings. So I would marry the baby, and we can get the chop.
You want to be called?
Is it about the hair for you too? It's the hair, isn't it?
It's about Weekend looks like him and I can only be friends.
Yeah.
Because of the hair. Wait, take your hat off.
Like a bottom.
Wait, let me make the connection. Let me make the connection.
You can read into that however we can only be friends.
All right. I'll abandon my line of questioning. I could have been a district attorney. I know it. I could have been. Aaron, tell us who you would have shagged.
All right, so I'm gonna say I would shag Maluma because he looks like the type I like. That fresh out of jail look.
Yes.
Fresh out of jail.
No job, no car, criminal record.
Oh yeah, he looks real disrespectful. I'd let him disrespect the fuck out of me. As far as marrying, I'm gonna because like the baby is cute, but I can't imagine shagging or marrying anyone called the baby. Like I just have reservations, so I'm going to have to marry The Weeknd also because judging by The Weeknd's music, he and I would be on quite the perfect level of
you don't want to feel your
angst
face
and anger, and it would be some really good angry sex just all the time. So yeah, and then I'm going to chop the baby because he also looks like he's wearing a diaper in that.
He does.
That clip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's intentional.
Too far in the wrong direction for me.
Now, Randy, I want to make sure that I connect the dots for you. Power really needs that physical kind of physical beating interaction in choice. And Aaron needs the shaming into angry sex kind of thing. So that's what's going on here. It's happening out. And that's just that. All right.
Psychological bondage.
Yeah, and Misty, tell us who you would shag.
I'm actually totally twinning with my boo. I'm shagging the baby just because he looks fine, and I'm marrying Maluma because, wow, I didn't know he was that hot, and we're going to spend our life together, and I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but you're chopped. And Josie, how about you?
Yeah, well, so listen, guys, I am totally shagging the baby. What's up, North Kakalaki? How you doing? I know, and if you would, invite all your homegirls.
North what?
Kakalaki, that's
Kakalaki?
That's like North Carolina, girl. Okay, so that's where I was born in Charlotte. All right, and that's where the baby is from as well.
Wait! Breaking news here: the candidate for mayor of Wilton Manors is from North Kakalaki.
North Kakalaki, and not only that, but I'm just saying, if you wouldn't mind, invite Megan the Stallion.
Oh, yeah.
Because what? That would be a party.
Megan the Stallion, yes.
A ratchet.
Okay. We're gonna have some good North Carolina barbecue, and everything's gonna be
the
perfect.
party. We'll make
right?
a few music videos. It'd be fun. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
A real night. And then I'm gonna go ahead and marry Maluma. And hey, Stefano, if you would hook me up with your brother, whatever. Anyways, I could also be the madam of that relationship. So I have a lot of friends for you, Maluma, even in case it didn't work out. But I see how you party, so I know that it would be a great life and a lot of fun. And The Weeknd, I'm sorry, I'm chopping you because I love your music, but I think it's like, it's what Power says. I think we can only be friends.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, now there's been a wide rejection of The Weeknd.
Yeah.
What is it that all of you are rejecting The Weeknd over? There's something more, and I just haven't heard what it is.
I think it's
He
just a
looks
bad
like
boy.
for me, he looks like a sister. Now,
Like
if I'm gonna be honest, he looks like a sister. That's why I said we can only be motherfucking friends.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It
then
looks like
same
the
for you,
tap on saying,
Jesse?
"Hey, girl."
It's a sister vibe, really?
Yeah,
It's the
you
I'm-
know.
No,
I don't know. I just don't like
Those
it.
are the ones
either.
that can surprise you. Those are the
Yeah.
ones that can surprise you. You know, they say it's always the quiet ones for a reason.
He ain't surprising. He ain't surprising me.
Chop, and it is definite. All right, so we are clear. It is a chop, which means Shag, Marry, Chop is over for
weekend.
tonight, Wednesday, September
about it.
2nd. It's a fun game. Play with us every week, and we hope you'll play and participate along with us. Before we end the show tonight, we're going to introduce, by the way, all of you haters online that make jokes about my inability to be able to open a pizza box, that is mean and it is bullying, and I'm thinking
It's
about
true.
going off Twitter because of it.
Wow.
I'm just
It's
telling
very
you.
What haters for.
I'm going
Very
off.
hurtful to Al.
It's very
Yeah.
hurtful for you to talk about my ability to open a pizza box. I
We
just
need to
wanted
toughen
get
him
that
up a
off.
little, okay?
Yeah,
Keep it up,
exactly.
guys.
All right. So, from here and Jet's Pizza to Canada's RuPaul drag race. All right. So, we are showing you Jet's Pizza here in South Florida. They're around the country. This is the Detroit style pizza. This is
No.
the cauliflower.
Oh.
It is Detroit style.
Oh, really?
And a cauliflower pizza, it's my favorite, and they have great all corners deep dish.
That's the
and
really delicious one, the
yeah,
cauliflower.
it's great, and they deliver in, and one of our sponsors of It's Happening Out, and we thank very much Jet's Pizza. Before we end the show tonight, we get an opportunity to say goodnight, and want to give all of the hosts to do that. And Randy, again, because you're guesting, you're going to be you're a host at Gay Town Hall. Lots of big things going to be talked about tomorrow night. And because you're a guest here tonight for It's Happening Out, we're going to let you start and say good night first.
Good night, guys. Make sure you stay safe out there and make sure you say I love you to your loved ones, because we need that right now.
Yeah, we do. And Aaron Phoenix?
Well, good night, everyone. Stay tuned, and if you need help, if you need resources, use your Google fingers, get online and look. There are countless different places you can go, 211.org, Trans Lifeline. There are different places that are out there with help for you. Just keep looking, and like Al said earlier, stay committed to it.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And to my other friend in the blogosphere, Power Infiniti.
Good night, children. Remember, we have about 2 months left to go when it comes to this election. Keep tuned in, keep focused. Let's get out there and let's vote, and keep it right here on It's Happening Out Networks. Not only It's Happening Out, but Q News Tonight, It's Happening Out, and Gay Town Hall.
And I teased this at the top of the show. America, just to remind you, last week, Power and I have a bet that we've agreed on, and Power had just come out of Facebook jail for the 137th time in 156 weeks.
Allegedly.
And so we have a bet that he is going to go back into Facebook jail before November 3rd, 2020. So his voice will be totally irrelevant in this election, and the winner gets treated to dinner wherever they want in South Florida. And let me tell you, go ahead. Go ahead.
Which is why it's very important for everybody to tune in tomorrow night to Gay Town Hall, because when we do our segment, What's on Your Mind, I'm going to let everybody in on a secret on how I plan strategically to stay out of Facebook jail.
Oh.
And my rebuttal to whatever we're going to hear tomorrow night is I have a plethora of notable Republican and LGBT Republicans from all over the world that are going to come in and bait and bait and bait.
Don't fall for it, Power.
Oh, it's going to be so delicious
And
for
he
the
knows
next
Republicans.
2 months. So
Listen,
stay
the only thing
tuned.
stronger than the only thing stronger than Power's bad mouth is her willpower when she wants to be able to say "I told you so."
But
I'm putting my money on Power.
Yeah.
are you really? Wait, you want a little side bet here?
A little side bet.
A little side bet. All right, let's think about that, because I'm going to think about a little side bet. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to win no matter what. I'm going to have him baited out, because can you imagine the video that we're going to get as he drops kebabs, the shrimp kebabs in my mouth.
Oh, God.
I don't remember that being part of the deal.
All right. Woo. So, all right, stay tuned, America. And an opportunity to say goodnight, Misty Eyes.
I'm very much like my sister, Miss Power. Your vote matters, period. We have fought for the right to vote. If you're a woman and a person of color, you have fought for the right to vote. It does matter. Get out there, whether it's vote by mail or early voting or on the election day. Get out there and vote.
And one of the people as host of Hits Happening Out that knows that voting matters almost as good as anybody in South Florida, running for mayor of the gayest place on planet Earth, my friend Chef Josie.
Yeah, you know, guys, there's a lot of things that are happening in the world that are discouraging at the moment and even distracting. Just stay focused on the mission, the goal. The goal is for us to get through this crisis, and in order for us to do it, we must do it together. So stay safe, stay positive, and we'll see you next week.
And my final thought before we sign off is to laugh. We have 60 days. We know the next 60 days, how volatile the next 60 days are going to be. That means all of us have a commitment that right along with the importance of everything that's going on in the world, COVID, our economy, our gay businesses that are facing closures, the election of a lifetime, etc., we have an obligation to counterbalance that with some fun and laughter. We can have both in the same world at the same time. I commit to it. I commit to it tonight. 60 days to the election. Let's all do that. Let's laugh. And that's what we want to accomplish. Aaron challenged us tonight. I heard you loud and clear, Aaron. Thank you for reminding me. We want to laugh and have some fun right along with these important things. So remember, if that is important to you, it is going to go on here every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And we'll see you next Wednesday as we're laughing and enjoying ourselves at It's Happening Out. Good night, America.